I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The waves roll in one after another, each unique, never identical, each carving its own story into the shore. Now open your eyes. That ocean, that's life. And those waves, that's you. You with your rhythm, your pattern, your own powerful way of making your mark. But here's the question I want to ask you today. Have you ever stopped to see yourself, truly see yourself as one of a kind? Or have you been caught in the currents thinking you're just another wave? I've stood in front of thousands of people, shared my story, and seen the same look of doubt, fear, and even hopelessness in so many eyes. And I know that voice, the one that whispers, you're not enough, you'll never be good enough, you're too broken to matter. I know it because I've heard it too. Born without arms and legs, I grew up thinking the same thing. What could I possibly do in this world? How could I ever belong? But let me tell you something I've learned. Something that changed everything for me. The very things you think disqualify you are often the things that make you unstoppable. You see, you were never made to blend in. You were made to shine in a way that only you can. And I don't mean that in some fluffy, feel-good way. I mean that in a way that demands action. The world doesn't need another copy. It doesn't need another person trying to live someone else's life, chasing someone else's dream. It needs you, the real you, the one with the scars, the struggles, and the strengths that no one else has. Because let me tell you, there's someone out there waiting for the kind of love, the kind of encouragement, the kind of purpose that only you can bring. Think about it. Think about the stars in the sky. No two shine the same. They don't compete, they don't compare, they just are. And because they are, the sky is breathtaking. That's how life is meant to be. But too often we forget. We look at the star next to us and think, if only I could shine like that one, instead of realizing that our light, just as it is, adds to the beauty of it all. Let me tell you a story. A little boy once asked me, Nick, how do you do it? How do you live with no arms and no legs? Isn't it hard? Isn't it frustrating? And I smiled at him and said, it's not about what I don't have, it's about what I do with what I do with what I have. That's the truth. And you have so much, more than you even realize right now. You've got a mind that can dream and create. You've got a heart that can love fiercely. You've got a voice that can speak life into someone else. And you've got a story that's still being written. But let me ask you, who's holding the pen? Is it you? Or is it fear? Is it the world's expectations? Is it the lies you believed about who you are or who you should be? Because here's the thing, your story matters. Your story has power. And no one can write it like you can. Maybe you're sitting there right now thinking, Nick, you don't get it, you don't get it, you don't know what I've been through, you don't know the mistakes I've made or the pain I've carried, and you're right, I don't. But I do know this pain can either crush you or transform you. It's not about what happens to you, it's about how you choose to respond. And trust me, I know how hard that choice can be. But I also know the freedom that comes when you realize you're not defined by your circumstances. You're defined by how you rise from them. You're not here by accident. You're not here to just exist, to get by, to blend in. You're here to live, to thrive, to make a difference. And let me tell you something else, your worth isn't tied to what you achieve. It's not tied to how you look, how much money you make, or how many followers you have. Your worth is in who you are. And who you are is enough. Right here. Right now. So what are you going to do with that? Are you going to keep holding back, playing small, letting fear and doubt dictate your steps? Or are you going to stand up, step out, and own the truth of who you are? Because there's no one like you, no one with your voice, no one with your heart, no one with your dreams, and the world needs you desperately. I'm not saying it will be easy. Life will throw challenges your way. You'll fall, you'll fail, you'll feel like giving up. But let me tell you, this falling doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're trying. And every time you get back up, you get stronger. Every time you face your fear, you take back your power. Every time you choose to believe in yourself, you take one step closer to becoming the person you were created to be. So my challenge to you is simple. Stop waiting for permission to be extraordinary. Stop looking for someone else to validate your worth. Stop holding back your light because you think it's not bright enough. You were made to shine. You were made to rise. You were made to change the world, not someday, not when everything is perfect, but right now, right here, just as you are. Because there's no one like you. And that's your superpower.